least expect it happens. Like when I say goodnight and hang the phone up, I'm thinking of you. And it feels so right, I'm caving. How you getting through when I got my guard up? I began witnessing the innocence of love. Yeah, innocence of love. Witnessing the innocence of love. The innocence of love. Love, love, love.
Listen, do you remember the innocence before the pain? Before the false accusations and before the blame? When the sun shined every day, way before the rain. It felt like practice before the pressures of the game. Do you remember the innocence before the jealousy? Before we ever thought to use our words as weaponry? Before the relationship was ever in jeopardy? And without telling me, I knew your thoughts by your energy. We were young and our future was a mystery. Before either of us had baggage or any history. When there was only happiness before the misery. Before we ever had cares or responsibility. Before any insecurity, the innocence of love is sure to be based on purity. Started as a boy, then I grew to be a gentleman. I'm remembering at first our friendship was genuine.
When you least expect it happens. Like when I say goodnight and hang the phone up, I'm thinking of you. And it feels so right, I'm caving. How you getting through when I got my guard up? I began witnessing the innocence of love. Yeah, innocence of love. Witnessing the innocence of love. The innocence of love. Love, love, love.
Yeah, me and you laid up like remember when? This is what I've been missing, I wanna win again. Wanna make it new with you. It ain't over, still things I wanna do with you. See, I remember what I used to dream of when I was little. Big bold love, no coasting in the middle. Fairy tale life, real sweet, real simple. Then things got real, but I'm still here with you. So can we stop imagining all the worst times? What if we recreated the first time? What if he rose up a little nervous to meet her and she was in the window hoping that he don't see her? What if we keep all the energy from day one? Hold on to the joy and it stay fun. Still full of hope, love, peace, and innocence. I just need to know if you into it. Well,
when you least expect it happens. Like when I say goodnight and hang the phone up, I'm thinking of you. And it feels so right, I'm caving. How you getting through when I got my guard up? Then we begin witnessing the innocence of love. The innocence of love. Oh, 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 I ask myself sometimes, is it me? Is it really what it seems? Is it a dream? Or is it the innocence of love? The innocence of love.
Hey. Hey, Chris.
Yo, I don't Zoom at night.
Welcome.
Okay, hey, thank you.
No problem.
Yeah, I wanted to say to you and the viewers that I don't Zoom at night, and I got this crazy glare in my glasses. So if you guys bear with me, I think we'll get through this in one piece. I think, hopefully.
I think we got this because I'm rocking with the legend right now. So if I mess up the interview, you steer me correct onto the right path. Because you're the real legend here.
No, there's no wrong. What's the word? There's no wrong questions and there's no wrong answers.
Yo, Chris, thank you so much for doing this. Like, I really, really appreciate it. When
I was gonna say it's my pleasure and my honor. Forget about it.
You know what? When I first started doing interviews and I thought you would interview, you were like one of the very first people that popped into my mind. I think you were one of the very first people I asked.
Wow. Yeah, that was a while ago. You wanted me to talk 6 o'clock in the morning, and I deferred. I think is the right word to say there.
Yeah, I still have that show. I still do it Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays at 6 a.m. in the morning. But sometimes it does take its toll on me, and I have asked other people to interview at the time, and they also deferred. So you're not alone in that category. But to start the interview, you've been a longtime supporter, longtime friend. For me, I feel like a New Jersey journalist legend. Please tell the people who you are, what you do, and what you represent.
Okay, yeah, well, my name is Chris Jordan, and I'm an arts and entertainment writer for Gannett. Now they call it the USA Today Network, and I'm based at the Asbury Park Press, but I write my stories appear in multiple newspapers across New Jersey, including the Bergen Record, the Courier Post, the Courier News, My Central Jersey, that would be the Home News Tribune, and the Courier News, and my stories appear across the country too, including the USA Today. And
wow,
yeah, I write a lot of stories. You know, I cover music and entertainment. You know, I also do TV and other kinds of features. So yeah, it's a 24-hour thing. You know, except for 6 o'clock in the morning though.
So I've done like several interviews on the show so far, but recently I decided the only prerequisite for me doing an interview was I wanted to do interviews for people I felt were exceptional, just people in general, and people who I feel deserve light. And I know you've done a ton of interviews and gave a ton of people light. That's why I was like, I need to give Chris this light because he deserves it more than probably a lot of people, in my humble opinion. So
well, you're too kind to say that. I mean, and you know, I don't. You know, thank you. You know, you know, all I do is my motto is I just try to hold up a mirror and just kind of reflect, you know, the world around us. You know, so that's all I do. You know, and coming from a true talent like yourself, that's quite a statement.
Thank you. That's some amazing insight from you. So I said all that to say I wanted to get around to, you know, as far as the interviews you do and the energy I feel from you, I feel like you've been very genuine. How did you get your start in journalism?
Well,
was that always what you wanted to do?
Yeah, no, I had no idea what to do. I was just kind of, you know, I barely graduated high school and I was kind of bumming around, and you know, I was working at Burger King, and I had a connection, you know, an important first step, and I got a job in the sports department at the Asbury Park Press, and you know, I was working kind of part-time there for a couple of years, covering like high school sports. You know, I'm a big sports fan. I love sports, and but you know, I would find myself talking to the music writer often, and so one day, you know, I was talking to the music writer Eric Deggans, who writes now for NPR, and you know, okay, he's on TV. He's very well known. He said, "Hey, Chris, do you want to go cover goodness, what was it? It was like Anthrax and another band at the Stone Pony, you know." And I didn't know my. I think it was Anthrax and Sebastian Bach at the Stone Pony. Kind of two.
Wow.
Right. And I said, sure, yeah. So you know, that was my first entertainment assignment. And, you know, then
that is amazing.
Right. And then when Eric left, you know, what happened for a short period, I was both the Asbury Park Press and the Home News Tribune, and then they hired somebody else. But then, you know, I stuck around, and you know, this is going back like 20 plus years or so.
Wow, Sebastian Bach and Anthrax, that must have been an incredible time.
I'm just glad I got out of there and didn't get beat up by the fans. I mean, they see me and I got my notebook writing, and you better write something good about Sebastian Bach and tracks. Kick your ass, Asbury Park Press.
Have you ever been in a situation where you didn't write something good and like you got some feedback from it that wasn't positive?
Very rarely, I remember Bruce Springsteen. This was before the internet, and Bruce Springsteen announced a show at the Count Basie Theater in Red Bank, and we wrote like what we could confirm, but we didn't have all the details, and it appeared in the paper the next day, and a couple thousand people showed up at the theater, and they only had a certain amount of tickets to sale. And so I got some mean calls about that. Not so much. Let me see. It's right. I was tear gassed once at an assignment. I was
like intentionally.
Like
they're aiming for you.
Well, I was part of a crowd. It was the Hot 97 Summer Jam a years ago.
Man, Hot 97.
And so I got there, and there was a what do you call it? Like a bottleneck of fans. The problem is for the Giant games and the Jet games, they'll open up. They would open. There's four gates there, right? And at the Giants and Jet games, they open all four. Everybody, there's options. Right. The Summer Jam, I think they just had like 2 gates open. And like, why? Why did they do that? Because it's the same amount of people. I mean, it's 60,000 people, but there are only like 2 gates open. And I think they were doing like more extensive metal detector. And people, people got jammed up, and the state police brings out their like military grade hardware with the trucks and the personnel carriers, and they were spraying everything. I ran, and I was all teary eyed, and I wasn't crying for happiness.
Oh man, that's crazy.
and then the one time I was escorted by an armed security guard out of Wool Stadium, the racetrack.
What did you do, or what did you not do?
I was just speaking the truth. I was just reporting what happened. They had a fatality. This is a number of years ago. This is before I got into writing about arts and entertainment. But there was a fatality, and then, the track has a good track record. They're pretty, they're pretty safe. There's only been 1 or 2 big things like that. But I would write what would happen.
That night.
Yeah. And the guy, there were some irregularities with the with the license, or there were just some quirks in the program there. And, I was pointing them out, and they said, Chris, you're calling for change here at our racetrack. Well, here's one change: you are no longer allowed to watch the races from this official's booth. You're out of here. So they had a guy with a gun, escort me out. I was like,
oh man, like you were gonna cause problems.
Right. And so so those are pretty much the only times it is. Journalists do deal with a lot, and we're I'm kind of making light of it a little bit, but we are in a time of freedom of speech, a free press. It's very much it's not a certainty around the world, and it's not even a certainty here in the United States of America. These are very, very chilling times for
these are the facts.
Yes, these are very chilling times for freedom of speech and freedom freedom of the press, and I think we're very much on a precipice. So, growing up, I would always read the newspaper, and I appreciated the unbiased coverage of whatever I was reading. Be it about the Nets or the Mets or the presidents and the governor, so that's very much a that's very much an issue, especially in today's modern world where people get their information from kind of questionable sources.
Right.
I like to feel if you read a Chris Jordan story, it's going to be accurate, and unbiased and truthful.
Brother, you've never steered me wrong. Matter of fact, you have brought me fans. I don't know if you knew this. You probably have thought like during your writing you brought people fans, but you specifically have brought me fans. Like I can tell you people in my life that came to be my friends because of articles you've written about me. Like wow. I can think of several people right now. And they're for real. Like one person I'm thinking about you wrote a piece about my Demons of Our Memory song, and because of that article, they went listened to the song and they found me online. But this happened a few times. So you probably have been doing that to people or for people your whole career. So that's like I really appreciate that.
Well, you inspire me, man. That was a great track, and it was a great it's kind of a little bit of an unveiling there with that song, and I appreciate the honesty and the artistic integrity there. So
thank you, Chris. So when you write about New Jersey entertainment scene, your passion bleeds through. What is it in particular that you love so much about the New Jersey scene that you've covered all these years?
Right. Well, I like that there's you walk a block and everything changes. You walk another block and everything changes. I mean, there's just, there's so much variety here, be it music or film or poetry. We're all kind of crammed in here in New Jersey. I think we have per capita the most densely populated state in the union, and we kind of have to learn to get along with each other, and we kind of have to learn to get along with people that are often like a lot different
right.
than,
so let me ask you this: would you say there's a big difference in New Jersey music scene than there was, say, 20 years ago as compared to today? Or is it kind of the same, or is there a big difference?
That's an interesting question. It was very invigorating then too,
Mm-hmm.
For a casual observer, I think it's a lot more easier to get engaged with the local or statewide music scene, because there's different platforms that people can do their art on, be it YouTube or Bandcamp or Spotify.
Right.
Like 20 years ago, to make an actual record or to make a tape was you really had that was a hurdle that you kind of that you really needed to try to cross. I think now it's easier. There's a little bit that could be detrimental, because just anybody can put anything up there, and so it gets a little confusing. So it takes a little for the music fan. It takes a little bit more work to kind of figure out the wheat from the chaff, and kind of figure out the good stuff. But I'd rather have it like this. Back in the day, the only it'd be tough to get your name out there and your music. You'd have to you have to create something physical, a physical record or CD or tape, and you have to you'd have to go to a local club, and there weren't like tons of clubs back then either. And now it's easier. And I think it's good. And there's multiple forms of expression for artistically bent people. And if we're talking about music for musicians, there's Facebook. You put something on Facebook. YouTube. You see like lots of videos. And there's entire scenes around the state where maybe the live venues aren't so plentiful. There's scenes around the state where the scenes kind of exist virtually, where it's all on YouTube or Bandcamp or something's dropping on Spotify. Right. So in 2021, it's easier for that artistic expression to come through. A little bit more work maybe for fans to kind of decipher what's good and what maybe they want to pass over.
So nowadays, when you listen to music, are you listening more like digitally through like maybe an MP3 or Wave you got, or you bought, or are you still like trying to find like vinyl or CDs, like, or where are you at with that?
Well, I don't listen to MP3s or anything, or even Spotify in my car. I just like to when if you see me driving around, what I like to put on the oldies in the car. I've been playing the heck out of a Jerry Butler greatest hits CD, and I just listened to Only the Strong Survive. Is
that an album name or a song name? Because I want to listen to it.
Oh, Jerry Butler. Jerry Butler is a rhythm and blues singer from Chicago from the 1960s.
What's your favorite Jerry Butler song?
I think
one that the listeners would probably grab onto, because I'm gonna have them listen to this.
Well, Only the Strong Survive came out about like 68, I think. Up-tempo rhythm and blues song. And he did some more kind of like pop kind of rhythm and blues, like he Don't Love You, and just beautiful voice. They call him the Iceman because he's got such a cool voice.
Like George Gervin.
Yeah. And he became involved in Chicago politics. I think he was what they call there. I think they call him an Adlerman now. He's like a city representative, and I never had the chance to interview him. He's one guy I'd like to. I might have spoken to him once or twice, but I never got a chance to interview Jerry Butler. And I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh yeah, no, and I got a Roy Orbison CD I've been listening to, and I got my wife bought me the soundtrack to Wattstack that I've been listening to. And when the Quest and I haven't seen it yet, but when the Questlove movie came out, Summer of Soul, I thought they were talking about Wattstack. The big R&B concert that happened at the Los Angeles Coliseum, like 1973, featuring the Stax recording artists of the period, and the concert was headlined by Isaac Hayes, and they had people like Carl Thomas perform, and the Bar-Kays and everything. So when I heard the commercials, this is the Black Woodstock concert. Questlove really blew my mind. Like I really got I got it. I haven't seen this film yet, Summer of Soul, because it was all about the series of concerts in Harlem in 1968. I think.
I watched it.
Oh, in fact, okay.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
Right.
I might have to watch it again because it really was all unseen before footage. So it was great to see.
Yeah, and it looked like and I like the colors these guys were wearing. You know, everybody in the '60s was wearing like pastels and yellow and pink and everything. Like on Channel 13, they'll have like an Andy Williams special, and I just watched just for all the costumes that everybody's wearing with like the turtlenecks, and it's yellow, and then he's got the lime green pants and everything.
So back then, were you dressing like that too?
Yeah.
Oh,
ouch,
man.
ouch.
No shots. So let me ask you, being the legendary journalist you are, what would you have liked to have known when you were just starting out as a journalist that now that it would have been helpful for you to know when you were just starting out?
Yeah, that's a good question, and like a kind of lame answer is everything. I mean, I just wish I just knew a lot more about a lot of things, and maybe I wish I didn't like swing so hard. I wish I didn't try to kind of like what's the word? Kind of go at things so hard. I wish I had taken things just, I wish I had acted like I had done it before. I remember I and Mr. Bon Jovi, I apologize. I remember I did an early interview with you, and I kind of went to places where I didn't really need to go. Kind of like, just describing, they were kind of like the rote descriptions that everybody else throws out there, and I wish I was a little bit smarter and kind of I wish I was on my own path at that time early on. But you got to learn, you got to do it to find your own voice,
So when you say swing so hard, do you mean kind of like you were asking him tough questions that kind of you didn't need to ask, or what do you like? Can you expand on that?
No. I'm all for tough questions, because or relatively tough questions. I ask things that I want to know the answer to, because I feel it's what people who read the stories will want to know the answer to. So,
is there anything you stay away from, like question wise?
Not really. No, I mean, there's things in bad taste, I guess, but
right.
I mean, everything should be fair game. I think the less things are hidden, I think the better. I think then everybody can be together in a, and
I think you hit it on the head. I think for me, you hit it on the head, because someone was asking me about this recently. They were asking kind of how I do so well on stage, and I was like, it's not that I do so well on stage, it's that I go out there knowing that I want to be vulnerable. Knowing that I want to let me turn this down a little bit. Knowing that I want to give the people my honest self, so I don't go out there with premeditated thought. All I am thinking is that just be myself, and I think that's helped me. And I think that's kind of what you were saying, I think.
Right. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah. I think the more open we are, and believe me, it's not easy. But I think the more open we are, I think the better we are, and the more apt we are to get along.
So have you ever been? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's a nice groove I hear with the harmonies in the background.
Usually when I have a groove like that playing, I'll read an article from you and you're able to tell me where it came from, and I never know. Like the last one you did, it was like Yardbirds or something like that from a
Yes, you had the Yardbirds on one of the songs. I love those guys. They turned into Led Zeppelin of all things. The Yardbird.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they kind of. Yeah, but I'm listening now to this.
I don't know if it changed, but this is an instrumental by a producer named Knots from Virginia.
Okay.
But let me go back to that beginning and see if you can pick it out. Let's see.
The flute. Oh, that's my sweet spot. I don't know who that is though.
The sweet spot. So
Yeah.
have you ever been an artist or played an instrument? If so, no.
No,
Why not? Because you're so musical. You
Yeah.
love the music. How come you never went down that path?
I can't. What's the word? I can't strum and pick. I can do chords and stuff, and I can strum, but I can't do it at the same time. And I type with three fingers. So, there you go. Yeah. I'd love to be able to do that, and I'm in honor of people like you. I'm in awe of people like yourself who are able to kind of do that. I mean, that's a blessing, and that's a special thing.
Thank you. I'm in awe of people who are able to do what you do. So we're on the same page there. So let me see. Who have been your greatest influences in general, and why?
Well, that's a real good question. Who's influenced me?
Or maybe a journalist influenced this. Yeah. Anybody who's kind of influenced you.
Well, let me tell you who didn't influence me, and now I kind of regret not being influenced by this person. Growing up, the rock and roll guys would always say, "Hey, did you read Lester Bangs? Lester Bangs is the best journalist going on. He's a great writer, and he wrote for a few outlets like Cream magazine and Rolling Stone, But I always thought that he was, I just didn't kin to him. I didn't. I thought he was kind of elitist, not inclusive, and just didn't seem like the kind of person that I want to be like or be associated with, and his copy would be you would learn more about the writer of the story rather than the subject of the story. My goal is to, the subject of the story is the subject of the story.
Right.
The writer needs to once again hold up that mirror and show the subject as best as he or she can.
Gotcha.
So, Lester Bangs, everybody's talking about Lester Bangs. He's a rock and roll rebel. He's a rock and roll renegade, and he tells it like it is, man. To me, I was like, I got no time for Lester Bangs. And, and he passed away early, and he'll appear in, like, they'll have people portraying him in movies and things like that. But I just read someone, I don't know how I came across it, but he wrote a column that appeared in the Village Voice. One column. It was probably a column where he would have multiple publications, but this one story, and he called the punk rockers out to task because of their use of far right and Nazi imagery. And if you don't think about it, you don't realize it. But like Sid Vicious from the Sex Pistols would wear like a swastika on stage, and then if you see the old pictures, these guys, they walk around sometimes with German medals and jackets and swastikas, and this right wing fascination was kind of part of the whole punk rock movement, and also a kind of like you know, it was a very kind of like a very dude-centric movement too. Like, you know, there were not many kind of girls, you know, on the front lines of the whole punk rock movement. And darn it, if Lester Bangs didn't write a column kind of pointing out the wrongness of that, and you know, and stating that was not something that he, even though, you know, 10 or 15 years earlier, he might have overlooked that. This was something that he did not think was cool, and he felt strong enough to call out. And for some reason, I found this column. I mean, it's buried on the web somewhere, you know. It's from the Village Voice, like 1979. And months. And you know, it's chilling in light of what's going down in 2021.
Right.
With this whole kind of embracing of far right imagery and ideas and you know and the rewriting of history. I mean we're in very what's the word, tumultuous times here, you know, and
yeah.
And to read this column by a guy that I always thought was, you know, kind of like just, you know, like this kind of you know, guy who had no regard for anybody else beyond, you know, these rock stars, excessive rock stars on stage. Right. You know, it was very moving for me. So you know, that was a long answer to a question. I'm not sure if it is.
No, it's very interesting. Very interesting. You had my attention the whole time. So let me see. Do you have a favorite interview you've done of all time? If so, who and what makes an interview special to you? I think you kind of already told me earlier, but as far as your favorite interview, do you have one that sticks out? like?
You know, I've done a lot. I've done thousands, and you know, I enjoy our interviews. You know, those are great. You always have, you know, something interesting to say. You know, you always bring something to the table. You know, I appreciate that.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. I don't know. I've interviewed. Let me see. A lot of my favorite interview. Well, yeah, you know. I interviewed Bruce Springsteen a few times, and boy, he is great. You know, unlike me, he's kind of to the point, concise, speaks in full paragraphs. You know, and you know, and you can, you know, and he'll take any question too. You know, I asked him some personal stuff, and he don't blink. He takes it head on and just moves forward.
Shout out to Bruce, New Jersey representative.
Yeah. I always miss you know who I miss interviewing, and if he sees this, Jaheim. Jaheim Hoagland.
I definitely remember Jaheim.
Jaheim Hoagland from New Brunswick. You know, it was so fun with him. How did I, just from being around town, or someone gave me a call, before his first record dropped on I think he was on A&M, or no, Warner Brothers. I think he was on Warner Brothers, and it was very exciting.
It was
a period, and and to me, he's got that like old soul voice and vibe, so I haven't spoken to him in about five or plus years.
It was really, really cool to see his explosion, because he's from right around where we're from. And he's, you know, a bit older than me. So I used to like know some older people that knew him. And I just thought it was really cool watching someone from directly around our area kind of make it. Have you ever interviewed someone that you thought was going to like blow up and be huge, but then nothing really ever came? I don't need you to say their name, but has that kind of ever happened where you just like...
Not really. I mean, I guess I never expect anything. You know, I just take everything for as it is in the moment, and I take what's good from that moment, and
right.
and you know, I have no expectations beyond that. You know, you know, there's tons of like great talents out there, and you know, and sometimes I'm disappointed that, you know, that more people didn't get to hear
right
something, but you know, I never interviewed anybody with the expectation that they're gonna get real popular. And you know what, we're almost kind of in an era where, you know, that doesn't really happen anymore, you know, because everything is so selective, you know, like, you know,
right.
You know, you become very well, you can become very well known, you know, you know, appealing to your specific audience, and you know, and that's a beautiful thing, you know.
Right.
You know, the days of you know, you know, like the Springsteen success, or even the Jaws success, the Jaheim success. I mean, that's kind of, you know, like Jaheim sold what he sold. What, like 1 million copies of his first record or something? Yeah, in 2021, that's kind of unheard of, you know, because there's no physical copies, you know, and the record business with the whole, you know, each stream is considered what, like a quarter of a single or a quarter of an album. I mean, they do some crazy arithmetic these days, you know, so.
Yeah, it's crazy. The world's changing at a rapid rate. So where do you see the world in general going in, say, the next 10 years?
Well, I think I think we're going more towards more like progressive times, more you know, just accepting people for their qualities and who they are, rather than, you know, like what category they fit into, you know. And as far as music, I think rock and roll is going to come back again soon. I think, you know, with guitars, you know, and drums, and people kind of doing that, and you know, and it's going to come back in a form, you know, maybe people don't expect, you know, like H.E.R, you know, with the guitar, you know,
right.
or something like that, you know. You know, I think the energy of, you know, live music, you know, being performed live, no backing tracks, you know, kind of, you know, put an artist putting him or herself out there. It's going to come back. A guy like you, kind of going out there with microphone, you know, a beat, just that, like, you know, that kind of live thing. You know, everything is kind of too packaged. Everything is too refined these days. And I know that you go, you know that connection.
Yeah, for sure.
Between a live microphone and an audience is something, especially after what we've been through,
right?
You know, with the downtime, the 16 months, the 2 years. So you know, I think you know, I think rock and roll is going to come back. I think, you know, real kind of, you know, the real kind of hip hop where, you know, the microphone is live, and it's you know, and there's no safety net. Anything without a safety net, I think people want. As long as nobody gets hurt, that's fine.
That's a beautiful thing. I hope that it goes in the direction. I really, really hope that. So now time for a bit of fun questions. If you could have any actor play yourself in a movie, who would it be and why?
Oh my God, yeah. Oh. Let me see. Oh my gosh. You know, you have the questions, man. I tell you. Leonardo DiCaprio. How about that?
Nice. That's awesome. I can see it. I see the resemblance.
You know what though? He's got to go work out a little bit, right? And he's got to get in shape to play me. Let me just say that, okay? Not really.
So another fun question. If you could have any musical group make a soundtrack about your life, who would it be and why? Like a whole album about your life by a group. What group?
Wow. Let me see. Wow, that is let me think about that because there's so many great artists out there. You know whose work I really respect, and I've interviewed her a couple times. I want Alicia Keys to do like, you know, just something where she comes out, says Chris Jordan, yeah, and then it blows up. It goes, boom, 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 boom. Yeah, and then she's playing the piano. I want Alicia Keys to do it. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's perfect. That's awesome. That's awesome. So, is there some? Go ahead.
The song will be Chris Jordan's State of Mind. Chris Jordan's State of Mind.
I love it. Good answer. So, Chris, is there something about you that we don't know or something you would like, you know, the people to know? Not even like the people to know, something that nobody really knows.
Right. I do want to say, no animals were harmed in the conducting of this interview. These are antlers from Aaron Aardvark in New Brunswick, and they're shed. So you know, like this guy wasn't killed back here. He shed his antlers. But I don't know. Something that maybe people don't know about me.
Yeah.
I was a New Jersey Nets ball boy.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah, 1978, I think, at the Rutgers Athletic Center, the Nets played the Nuggets, and
awesome.
And now I got to go back, but I think they had both Super John Williamson and Bernard King on the team.
Oh, they had Bernard King.
Yeah,
Bernard King was the man.
Yes, yeah, and the Nuggets had Dan Issel and David Thompson. So there was a lot of talent on the floor, and then me. So, you know, it was just one game. Just one game. We won a raffle out of two guys in Neptune, in Neptune City, like in the 70s, I guess. So.
Man, that must have been awesome. I always wanted to be a ball boy for something like that, so I'm sure that's a great memory you have.
It was just one game, but I definitely was a Nets ball boy for one game.
That's
and
cool.
I'm a Nets fan. So I stayed a Nets fan, and so they had this big run. It took me a while to warm up to Harden, and Kyrie. I'm still kind of trying to warm up to him, you know.
I feel you. You warmed up to KD.
Oh my God, was that amazing? You know, every time he's on the floor, I'm saying to myself, the Achilles is going to blow up here. You know, it's just not going to last because he's like a thin. He looks kind of frail. He looks kind of he doesn't look like he's going to spend a lot of time up there, but he does. God bless him.
I think it's just that he's so tall.
Right.
Yeah. God bless KD.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I was getting into Jared Allen and LeVert and all those guys, and and I'm even a little sad seeing Brooke Lopez with the Bucks, because Brooke Lopez was a net for a long time, and he scored a lot, and then
he's doing well now.
Yeah, So God bless him. I mean, I don't know how he does it, but he seems to figure out where the place he seems to figure out the place he needs to stand, and then he just stands there. He doesn't move around, you know. Just okay, I'm gonna run to this part of the court and just stand there and wait for someone to throw me the ball, and, you know.
Well, he's out here hitting threes now, so I think it's working for him.
Right, there you go.
So yo, Chris, so I have a lightning round, but before we get to the lightning round, is there anything you want to say or discuss that we haven't that you kind of want the people to know?
Well, you know, just reading the stories too, and clicking and just getting engaged, you know. It's a tough spot that journalism is, you know. We spoke about the limitations of the freedom of the press, but you know, you know, now it's basically all online. So, you know, if you click on stories, and I know it's a pain, but if they say, you know, if you sign up here, you can read 5 free stories, you know, go ahead and do that. You know, hopefully, if you read my stuff, you know, you'll read about this gentleman too, because we done a couple stories over the years, going back to Court Tavern days and all that. You know, I missed that.
I actually have a couple of them hung up on my wall. You probably can't see, but I got them laminated. There's 2. Let me just grab it.
Oh, I can kind of see. Listen, viewers, do not be alarmed. The regular programming will return.
Yeah, I had these laminated. This is your work.
Oh wow! Oh my God! Clarity and beliefs. Oh, I like that. Thank you. Oh, I'm so honored. Oh man.
Hanging right on my studio wall. Yep.
Oh, those. Thank you. I hope those stories are okay.
They're great. That's why they're hanging on the wall.
Everything's spelled right and everything, you know, and the punctuation. They are. You know.
So, all right, lightning round. So here, this is the lightning round. I ask you a question like hot or cold, and you just give an answer like hot or cold, like with as least amount of thought as possible.
Okay. Oh boy.
Any two things.
Okay. And so,
are you ready for this?
Yeah. Oh, wait. So my replies are either hot or cold, right?
No. The replies can be either this or that. Like I'll say 2 things, and you just pick one.
Okay.
All right. Steak or chicken?
Chicken.
LeBron or Jordan?
LeBron. I don't have to think about that. You know, you want me to get? No, this is the lightning round. I'm sorry. I was going to go off on the whole LeBron and Jordan thing. You know, I won't.
Jim Carrey or Gene Wilder?
Jim Carrey. I like Gene Wilder too, though.
Let's see here. DC or Marvel?
Marvel. I'm a Marvel man. I'm a Marvel boy.
Baseball or basketball?
I have thoughts on that. I'll go with baseball. The Mets. I'm watching. I got the Mets game on in the next room here.
And then lastly, love or peace?
Love. You know, because if you have love, peace follows. You know, peace.
I like it.
Although if you have peace,
give it up for that answer.
You know, because the one answer will give you both.
Right.
If you say love, then peace will follow. If you say peace, love doesn't necessarily follow. You know. Right.
That's a jewel.
But
good answer.
You can't go wrong with either answer there, though.
Good answer. Well, Chris, you've been a fabulous interview. This has been a great interview. I can't wait till the people see it. I really appreciate you, Chris. Thank you for doing this.
Well, thank you for doing everything you do and making all that great music and the brave stances and everything. And I just hope that your viewers are not blinded by the pro lighting in the Jordan Studios here. So I appreciate you, man, for doing what you do. Forget it, like we say in Jersey. Forget about it.
Forget about it. All right. Well, Chris, it's been great having you. I'm gonna have something new for you very soon, actually, because I have an album coming out in September. But I'll reach out to you about that another time soon. But thank you for coming through. I appreciate you, Chris.
Thank you.
Peace, love, and positive energy. I'll see you soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chris. Peace.
I'm honored.
No doubt.
I'm honored. Wow.
All right, let's talk to you next time, Chris.
Okay, thanks so much, man. Great job.
Thanks, Chris. I'll see you later. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Peace.
This place raised me, man. A lot of love here. This is for Jersey. Though I came a long way on my journey, I'm always gonna represent Jersey. Say it many times and make sure that they heard me. I do this one for Jersey. I'm the best MC, I'm not here to convince you. Probably reply to emails from the Nigerian prince if you thinking otherwise, but I'm not these other guys. I take a blanket statement and cover lies. New Jersey's just as live, anything else is dead, put it to bed. My favorite MC is still red. When Poor Righteous was teaching, I was a young boy who thought he fly. It was a stretch, but I thought I was trash from naughty by. To me, Skid Slam and Science of Life had the hardest tracks. I was influenced by outsiders and the artifacts. So many times we wait till somebody dies, but fuck that, here's your flowers while you alive. It's no debate much in my statement to my benefit. That's why I'm repping it like the Nets with drives and Petrovic. I'll never quit, keep the speaker, Rick is even deeper. I do this for Whitney, Lauren, and Queen Latifah. This is for Jersey. Though I came a long way on my journey, I'm always gonna represent Jersey. Said many times to make sure that you heard me. I do this one for Jersey. Though I came a long way on my journey, I'm always gonna represent Jersey. Said many times to make sure that they heard me. I do this one for Jersey. The way my story started wasn't likely. We moved from England to Jersey in 1990. And even though I wasn't born here as a baby, it's crazy lately I've been feeling that New Jersey made me. Where I'm from, some still sleep on me and ain't on the way. Even though I've been in foreign countries repping the Garden State. But I thought I always represented you. Some people just can't give out the credit when it is due. True, my competition waiting for me to go away. Might as well be Columbia House waiting for me to pay. Now it's well told, since young my soul felt old. I also felt bold, cause I can spit hot and melt gold. I rep Jersey, I can't really name the clubs, but ask me about the grease trucks or tasty subs. Before Walmart and Target, bought Simpson t-shirts from the Route 1 flea market. Now I'm killing every session and I'm steady repping. You can catch me going at grandma's on 27. Then off to NY, with stages I was killing. At New York shows, New Jersey was always in the building. Thinking this made you a minor, I get you open like a 24-hour diner. I symbolize the state like it's my birthright. This for every night I spent driving home on a turnpike. This is for Jersey. Though I came a long way on my journey, I'm always gonna represent Jersey. Said many times to make sure that you heard me. I do this one for Jersey. Though I came a long way on my journey, I'm always gonna represent Jersey. Said many times to make sure that they heard me. I do this one for Jersey. I do this one for Jersey. I do this one for Jersey.